Over here we have the new Kia EV3. This is exciting. It's the moment we've all been waiting for. The successor of the Kia Soul EV. It's a big step ahead. But let's just say they did something quite interesting about the interior. Do you know this moment when you try to make an impression, you try, and instead of striking a great impression, you end up making everyone cringe? Look at what they did over here. The moment I saw this, I got reminded of Honda and Hyundai's. The moment I saw this, I got reminded of Hyundai. Okay, you know what? I'm confusing Kia with Hyundai at this point. Yes, that's right. I said it, guys. I mean, I see this and I instantly got. I instantly thought of the Hyundai bumpers of the 2000s. I mean, look at this. What is this? I mean, I like what they were aiming for. It looks interesting. It is unique nonetheless. But then on the other side of the scale, what? It looks a bit budget. Speaking of budget, it is 49,000 euros. Now with this price tag, it is definitely meant to pick a fight with the Volvo EX30 and the Volkswagen ID3. Now, if I'm going to be honest, neither of them impressed me. The Volvo EX30 was a big talk. Everybody was talking about it. Everyone loved it for some reason. Me, I was not fazed by it. The moment I saw it, I was like, what? It shares the same chassis as a Smart. Come on, Volvo, where have you been? But then at the same time, Volvo does great SUVs. I can give you that. Like when it comes to estate wagons and SUVs, Volvo beats everybody. Now, back to topic. With the Kia brand has a reputation for great value for money, so let's see if this one lives up to its reputation. We're going to start with the exterior of the Kia EV3. First thing I noticed is it's meant to be a downsized version of the Kia EV9, which is like right next to it. The Kia EV9 is massive. I had the pleasure of reviewing it. Great potentials, but it didn't really faze me because it had a problem of having a interesting price tag, but at the same time, the interior felt very budget, right? Now, for the Kia EV9, we're going to cover the interior later, but first let's talk about the exterior. So towards the front, we get a hint of the tiger nose effect. So apparently during the 2010s, they had this nose like this over here, like you see on that Kia Pro Ceed over there, the tiger nose. So now Kia abandoned it in favor of something more humble. Like look at this, they kind of abandoned the tiger nose effect for the Kia EV9. Whereas with the Kia EV3, they're kind of maintaining it. It's quite interesting how they've gone about it. Already I see you get a 360-degree parking camera with parking sensors at the front and at the rear. Oh wow, look at those 4-spoke wheels, they look amazing. Then towards the rear, this is where things get even more interesting. I don't know if it's just me, but looking at it from this angle, like especially when you look at the boot door, it has this Kia Sportage vibe. Yeah, just this humble rear design. It's something interesting. Oh, it's the GT line. Interior of the Kia EV3. All right, you know, I was actually this close to calling it a Hyundai, and that's because of the tone of the fabric they used. I mean, look at this. You get the white fabric, and then you get the gray fabric. Now, the tone of the gray fabric is the exact same tone of the gray plastic Hyundai used for their cars in the 2000s, and it was a nightmare. Good value for money, but they had terrible reliability, terrible quality, terrible everything. In fact, nobody would dream of owning these cars. Look at where Kia is today and Hyundai. They're going places, but then at the same time, I have to wonder, what was the need to have this tone of gray fabric here? All right, let's take a look at the interior. Okay, so, are you serious? The entire door is plastic. I mean, whoa, okay, hold on a second. Okay, whenever I close the door, this entire thing shakes a lot. And then for some reason onto the door, I get the heated seats and the heated steering wheel. Now, I've been around many cars and I never saw heated steering wheel onto the door. So it's very non-conventional, whatever I'm seeing in this car. So it's quite interesting. And look at this kind of trim right here. The last time I saw this kind of trim was on a kitchen furniture. That's cute. That's interesting. And oh, look at this. Oh, it's something you can move forward. Hey, look everyone. I can chop vegetables here. Looks like a vegetable chopping board or something. Oh my gosh. Ideal for road trips. I wouldn't mind cooking, but I wouldn't do that whilst driving. Steering wheel, squidgy, leather wrapped, looks amazing, multifunctions. Oh, I like how they put the driving mode right down there. That's an interesting location. Now, they kind of let this area all open, all exposed, and this is the similar path Volvo has gone down, and I can't really say I'm a fan of this concept. I do not like this concept. I prefer, you know, this whole area cocooning you. But then on the other side of the scale, it's well equipped. I mean, look at the climate controls. It's all nice. They moved everything to the infotainment system, but then you do get basic climate controls right here, and you do get a detailed 12-volt socket, charging port. All right, and there's no panoramic sunroof. And what? Okay, I am very lost right now. For some reason, I get this beautiful armrest right here. This has me thinking it's supposed to be a center console storage. I open this and I move this forward, only to realize there's no central console storage. So it seems like practicality has been sacrificed in favor of style. And honestly, Kia is not alone doing this. Volvo did the exact same thing with the EX30, and I'm not a fan of this concept. The transmission is right here, just like a... Are you serious? Wow, okay, look at the quality of this gear stick. So the concept of this transmission is the exact same as what you'd find on Hyundai and then certain Kia cars. But then looking at this transmission, look at the quality of this plastic. This is very budget. There's something about this car that screams budget, guys. Wow. Okay. Well, guys, when it comes to practicality solutions, look at this. Ta-da! That's not bad at all. Now it is time to check out the rear seats of the Kia EV3. Yes, I finally got it. I was not about to call it a Hyundai by accident. Although, I mean, I look at this area right there and I see it's gray, gray, and gray. Okay, anyways, let's just go in. First thing I noticed, back of the seat is hard plastic, and the back seat pocket is not fabric, it's just hard plastic. Although it is still useful. Anyways, closing the door. It's good. It's quite good. And you get an armrest right here with 2 cup holders. Now, I like the fact that it's bright, which is good because at the moment it feels quite dark and it's quite scary, everyone. Although the visibility outside is good, and you get 2 air vents right here and a deep storage space down there, which is great. And you get handles over here with a coat hook. Now, this is good. Like, something about the rear seat feels better compared to competitors. Now, the seating over here is a bit like a sofa, which is good, actually. It's quite spacious. Now, this is better compared to certain competitors, everyone. My legroom is good, but that can depend on the seating adjustment of the driver and front seat passenger, and same case for knee room, everyone. Headroom is excellent. No complaints over there. Oh, and I forgot. Back seat passengers get heated seats. Behold, everyone, you do get additional storage space over here. Now, it's not much, I know, but at least it is something, all right? Little storage space. Now it is time to take a look at the boot space of the Kia EV3. Oh, see, I mean, okay, so it's right here. The boot space of the Kia EV3 is amazing. Now, you can adjust this boot floor, but that's if you get rid of all the stuff that's down there. And then as for 12-volt socket, that surprises me because I don't see anything. And you will also be surprised to note that there's no tether point or any other smart practicality solution apart from this hook right over there. So when it comes to boot space practicality, it's just there. There's nothing really extraordinary happening. And the boot lid doesn't stick out, so that's a plus at least, but... Okay, that's good, but then why am I constantly reminded of this gray plastic? So here is my conclusion of the Kia EV3. I was about to call it an EV9. Where do I start? Where do I start, guys? Let's start with the competitor, okay? For a price of 49,000 euros, this Kia EV3 is not perfect, but then to be fair, it's not alone in what it's going through, okay? Let's start with the competitors, as I mentioned just now. So, Volvo EX30, I did complain about it not having really much compared to what its price suggests. The Volkswagen ID3 suffers the same problem as other Volkswagen Group cars. So, you know, good quality. Well, actually, the quality of the ID3 was quite interesting because the back door vibrated a lot every time I closed it. But then at the same time, it just didn't really seem like much. You see, there's something about this segment that suffers immensely from having a high price tag, but then not seeming like much, except the smart #1, I think. The smart #1 was epic. It was good. I was quite impressed. Now, over to this Kia EV3. You know this moment when you try to make an impression, you stress out and you try everything from the book, but you end up, I don't know, cringing everybody? That's kind of, I'm not sure going to say this is exactly what Kia did, but then basically they did that for the interior. I mean, the exterior looks amazing. The exterior looks like a downsized EV9. I see what they were trying, or actually what they did, and they did a brilliant job with it. But the interior, why of all the tone of fabric did they decide they have to choose this tone of gray? Why? Why? And then the door vibrates every time I close it. There's a certain part of it that vibrates, and like, you know, the budget plastic from certain areas. I was like thinking to myself, what have they done? Otherwise, the concept of the car is amazing. The interior is promising, although I'm not so sure about the center area where you have this thing that looks like a chopping board, and then you also have, it looks like a center console storage, but it's not a center console storage. There is no center console storage. And this is the thing that troubles me about this segment. I had the same thing to say about the Volvo EX30. So does this Kia EV3 live up to Kia's reputation of being good value for money for a low price tag? Well, first of all, this is not even a low price tag. I mean, this is nearly 50,000 euros. It's 49,000 euros. In terms of equipment list, it had all the things you kind of needed, right? Like 360-degree parking cameras, parking sensors at the front, at the rear, heated steering wheel, heated front seats, all the things you would love to have in your car. But then at the same time, on the other side of the scale, it suffers similar problems to the Kia EV9. Now, compared to the Volkswagen ID3, there's something about the Kia EV3 that seems to make more sense because the exterior looks nicer than the Volkswagen ID3 and the Volvo EX30. The Volvo EX30 looks tiny, and the back seat was quite small actually. So this Kia EV3 is quite advantageous compared to its competitors. And Stellantis, well, at this point, Stellantis is doing a mishmash thing where I'm going to see a Peugeot that will have traits of a Alfa Romeo and a Jeep. So it's a bit of a mishmash what's going on at Stellantis at this point. And then when it comes to other competitors, you have the Mercedes GLA electric, if I'm correct, or EQA. I think that's it, EQA. Well, let's just face it, the EQA is pretty much on the same boat as the Volkswagen ID3. Looks beautiful, but it isn't really that much. You're only buying it for the badge. So don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and stay tuned for more videos that are on the run. I will see you all next time. By the way, this Kia EV3 is amazing. Don't get me wrong, everyone. It's a big step ahead for the Kia brand, and I am optimistic for it compared to its competitors.